Okay, I should be live. Don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just getting off of work. I only worked, 14 and a half, 15 hours today. Not going too fast. It's been raining all day. And I don't know how the signal's going to do through here. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I got those two curves right up ahead of me. And I'm going to hit those. And don't you love when the bike wants to follow the groove in the road? But it might cut out up here. I'm not exactly sure. I did this once before. It wasn't too bad. I think at some point I did lose the signal and I had to start it back up. I'm not sure. But we will find out. Like I said, it's been raining. So I'm going to watch the shaded parts of the road and all that good stuff. Thought I'd do a live stream. The last part of the day I got to hop in my other truck, which the AC works on, to do one load real quick, and that was awesome. Having a working AC is awesome. But I had to get back in the other truck in the morning and go do my thing. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Gotta make that money. I gotta pay for my Harleys. Run, birds, run. But I'm not gonna get too carried away with it. The road's really good right through here. It's just this normal, rough, corrugated self, because this road is not smooth. But it's not wet right through here. It might be up in the trees. I was kind of watching the weather this morning, and it said the rain was going to start basically about 8 o'clock, and that's about right. And then it's supposed to stop around 3. I think around 3 or 4 it stopped, so roads had plenty of time to dry out. This bike doesn't have the best tires on it for rain. I don't know what just hit my leg. Something did. I have no idea what it was. Hopefully nothing important. Hopefully not a piece of the bike or something. I'm probably corking somebody else's chat. Oh well. I follow so many different channels, it's hard not to cork somebody when you go live or you post a video or you do anything. There's somebody doing something. And especially at the times when people are going to watch, you know. Going to go live at 4, somebody's doing something then. 5, someone's doing something then. So at a certain point, I mean, try to be respectful, stuff like that. But at a certain point, there's only so much you can do. How do the roads get through here? I was kind of wondering how it would be with the shade. There we go. I'm still not going to get too carried away with it. And the signal, it has the spinning wheel of death. If it dies, I will restart it. There we go. Now it's showing again. No? I think the signal gets better if I get a little closer to 90. I don't know. Okay, I think the signal should start getting better. Should just be that little section there. And every once in a while it should skip. But not like that. But that one section's pretty dead. If you're out there, say hello. Let me know you're there. If I completely lose my signal, I'll restart it. I'll pull over somewhere and restart it. The grooves get deep out here. I think it also depends on the time of the day. Like the internet usage, like people's internet usage is real high right now. So I don't think I get as good a signal in the evening as when I go live in the mornings. I mean, people are on the internet, but they're not doing all their gaming and all that kind of stuff. No gaming. My son's a little gamer boy. Well, he's not little now. He's 21 years old, my youngest. He's got all the fancy gaming computers and all that kind of stuff. I think my gaming stopped somewhere around Nintendo 64. I did have a 64. And I gave that to my oldest. Just life takes over, you know. Life will always take over, and you end up dealing with a newborn and a new home and a new everything, and not able to pay anything, and working 2 and 3 jobs and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I was driving local at 2 different places and also working for a temp service. And I was not making enough money. So gaming was not really an interest at that time. What gear am I in? I have no idea. But we are about to find out. I was in first. My boots are getting kind of loose too. They're so broken. I think that's messing with my shifting a little bit. Just a little. I remember right when I got up closer to the tollway, the signal started getting better. We shall find out. I'm not getting too carried away with it. So what are y'all doing, if you can hear me? How are your days going? Anything interesting happened today? I don't think the live stream's going to do any good. Oh well, it's still recording. So I'll have it for later. If it keeps breaking up, I guess you can watch me ride. I don't know. I'm hungry. I'm heading home. My dirty boots. See how far behind the chat thing is. Switching gears. Got it. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you for commenting. I think the signal will be better through here. I'm tired. Well, at least I don't have any problems getting out into traffic. But there is a train. I could take a different route home. I don't know. Let me see if I got signal here for a second. I found neutral. There it is. So switching gears, thank you for the comment. Oh, it says get it. Okay. I don't know what that was in reference to. I just run 90 all the way over to Crosby and back up. We could check out the signal there if my one viewer is interested. Do I want to do that? I do not know. I know I don't want to sit here forever. I think I'll do that. Not as hot as it was. Oh, that's a hell of a groove. I do not like that groove. There we go. It's not as hot as it was yesterday because of the rain today. We need a 7th gear on these things. Let's petition Harley Davidson for a 7th gear. 7th gear would be awesome. Give me like a suicide shifter or something, put a 13 speed on it. I can pretend I'm at work. Oh, we're gonna go this way. Sorry, Mr. Pickup. I'm only doing like 20 over the speed limit. Who's there? Somebody's there. I'll look when I get up someplace where I'm stopped. It's not bad. It's in like the 80s. Yesterday it was like 96 degrees. No AC in the truck. I'm just getting broiled. Yep, wallet's still there. Should have decent signal on this road. This is US 90. Oh, looks like one train stopped and the other one's going to pass it. Okay. There's a lumber mill somewhere. There's a bunch of chemical plants right up here. I think the lumber mill is like east and north of here. Oh, these trains should be for the chemical plants, that, like the one that burned down during Harvey, because I think what it was, like they ran out of fuel or something for their generators and the product had to stay cold. Kind of like some of the stuff that I hauled that will what is it, polymerize explosively at a certain degree. Well, it did something explosively and it all caught fire. I think somebody died. Honestly, from what I remember, I think the guy was a hero that died. He knew it was going to blow and he did something like holding a pipe or whatever that was going to blow, like some valve or whatever, to let everybody else get out of there. So everybody else was able to get out and he didn't make it. Sad. What's that? I see Buck Brown down there. I'm just cruising. I'm glad the rain stopped. There was it said it was supposed to stop around 3 or 4 o'clock and it did. But then there's a chance of like at 8 o'clock, which is like right now, of some starting back up. So I would like to get home before it starts again, if it's going to, but it doesn't look like it's going to. So I'm hoping that it's not going to. Hoping. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just a wish for something I have no control over. I'm gonna be like Storm. I'm gonna control the weather. I would be rich if you had that kind of power. I mean, I'd be going around, okay, farmers, how much water do you need? How much sunlight? Okay, be helping them all out. For a profit, of course. You go around the world. Be no more famine. Until you died. and then everything would go to hell. I'm just cruising. No need to be in too much of a hurry. Not today. Kind of tired though. When I got to work this morning at 5:30. It's not when I logged on, but that's when I got to work. Buck Brown will understand that one. You didn't start your clock, but you were there, you were working. And then I didn't get off until like 8 o'clock-ish, so that's what, 3.5, 12 plus 3.5, 15 and a half hour day. That's about normal. Not too bad. I hope I remember to log off. I don't know if I did or not. I can fix that in the morning. They took my coloring book away a long time ago. I miss a paper log. I hate these ELDs. I mean, once people figured out how to get around them and what to do to cheat them, it's like everything else. You know? People are going to work them to the fullest extent. Use every trick that they can. And I don't know why anyone would run 2 log books when they came out with, oh, you can run a loose leaf. Now, you can have like one load on one log and one on the other, and then fix the stuff later, kind of. I can understand that. But you're going to rewrite it all anyways. So still, unless you had a reason that you weren't going to have time to rewrite all of it. I don't know. Once they said you could do loose leaf and you didn't have to match those numbers, that was like the wild, wild west for a while. How long can you stay awake, my friend? I got threatened with Illinois State Trooper, and I'd went from Houston to Center, Texas when I pulled a reefer. My chicken hauling days. Went to Center, Texas, went to California, and then, and this is non-stop, by the way. I unloaded. I think I picked up a drop trailer. I don't think I made all the pics, but I had a load that finaled out, and I want to say Connecticut, that I turned around, picked up at like Pilgrim's Pride and Pennsylvania or something. And I had a couple of drops finaled out. Well, I didn't make my final stop. I made it to Costco in Morton, Illinois. And I was at the Costco and I had one more drop down the road. And where I messed up was I put my head down. Don't ever do that. But I was tired, obviously. And when they called my name, I stood up and I had like no coordination or anything. I'm like, whoa. And she called the cops on me. And the state trooper came out there and he gave me a sobriety test, which I failed. I mean, I was sober. And he said that they were giving me permission to park there. And if he saw me move the truck, if he saw that truck move at any point during the next 8 hours, he was going to write me a ticket for driving under the influence of sleep deprivation. He was going to give me a DUI. So yeah, you can't do that anymore. I've done stuff like that. I've made the coast to coast, LA to North Carolina kind of stuff. Usually though, when we were running like that, like you'd hop up on 40 and you're in a train of trucks, you just stop off for fuel and you'd hop in another train of trucks and you really wouldn't get sleepy, you know, until you got to West Memphis. And if you were turning off and you were going down 78, everything would get quiet on the CB. There's no one to talk to. And you were looking for any place you could park that truck. As soon as it got quiet, that was it. Thank you, motherfucker. That is definitely a fucker of mothers. And probably their own. I don't know how that looked on the camera or not. Camera makes things look further away. I don't know if anybody else has that kind of issue. But what I've found is the camera will make things look further away than they are. And then I think there's like adrenaline that makes things look closer. So the truth lies somewhere in between. That kind of sucked. I don't even know if that showed up on camera. I will see. Well, it's recorded later anyways. Where can I pull in for a second? I ought to go through Whataburger. You can tell if you're from here. If you call it Whataburger, you're not from here. We all call it Whataburger. So it says. It did look iffy. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Tyler ADV, how are you doing? As soon as you go around the train, it will end. Probably. Let's put a super 10 on all motorcycles. Awesome. Cool. Oh yeah, and that's the only thing we matched, and we had big tanks, you know. I had I carried 300 gallons of fuel, actually a little more, and I could go a long ways and make that work. I can come back across my tracks, and you rewrote history. That's just what you did. You rewrote history. Whoa, I don't want to go out there. Because that is the puddle where all the oil has washed to. So I'll go out on the other end. I could go through there and get a hamburger. I think they're waiting for me. It's too high a gear. I want to shift. I want to go faster. And that is a metal grate. Those things can be worse than the painted lines when it's raining and it gets wet. Those metal plates. And I hate those in the construction zones. I don't know if y'all have ever hit those on a bike before. I thought that was it. I thought it was all over. But manhole covers, stuff like that, aren't that great either. Those metal plates, they really suck. I kind of miss the cheat sheet days. And I kind of don't. There's some of that you really don't need to be doing. It was also, I don't know if it's a generational thing. People were kind of different and had different backgrounds. A lot of us were coming off of like, you know, the farm or military, or, you know, some real good blue collar experience kind of stuff. People had mechanical knowledge and equipment knowledge, that sort of thing, a lot more than people today. And that helped out tremendously. It's not that people weren't getting in wrecks or anything like that. Hell, there's clearings up in Pennsylvania. I swear, if you follow that clearing up through the woods, you're going to find a Montford truck done wrecked 30, 40 years ago. Who bought them over in Greeley? I think they're Swift and Company now or something. It's not Montford anymore. Montford and Sons, whatever. Something like that. If you're old enough to remember the Montford Lane. They had the biggest trucks, the fastest trucks, and they guaranteed they could beat anybody's time. And they did. And sometimes they went quite a ways up in the woods. But there was a definite mechanical skill. Well, it's like the newer generation has more like tech skills, computers, stuff like that, that sort of thing, which makes sense. Where our generations had more mechanical skills. My generation technically is a good cross of the two. Or at least my end of Gen X. We're like daywalkers. So, but yeah, they're a lot more, you know, like computer tech, electronics, that sort of thing. That's got its good points as well. And I think I'm kind of just getting older. There's part of me that wants to say that drivers are just so much worse now. And in a way they are. I think the main difference as far as actually driving is people are more distracted than they've ever been. I mean, we've even got idiots out here riding a motorcycle talking to a GoPro. Can you believe that shit? But people are more distracted than they've ever been. But people were messing stuff up. You know, they were hitting bridges 40, 50 years ago. They were taking hoods off. I remember in the 80s, trucks getting their hoods taken off. I remember a guy that got his ass beat, not because he took anyone's hood off, but because he took, was it 3 or 4 hoods off? He clipped the one. This is up in New York. We were at a truck stop, and my dad had his 85 Kenworth. That was his first conventional truck. Before that, he had an old white Freightliner cab over, ugly green and yellow International Transport colors. But this guy was rounding the bend, and he clipped one truck, and he panicked, and he ran. And going around the other end of the aisle, he clipped another truck. And then he clipped another one. He was trying to get out, and they pulled him out of his truck before he could get out of the parking lot. But people were messing stuff up back then too. So I don't know. That position right there with my feet, that feels good. Put my heel on the floorboard, put my toe out there on the highway pegs. So when are y'all gonna make up your minds and move? Somebody. And look at that gap. It's just made for a motorcycle to go right up through the middle. So what, y'all gonna do traffic control? Y'all work for Swift? Got 2 Swift employees. Maybe one of them's Warner. They're on their way home in their cars. It is beautiful though. I don't know how it looks on the camera. That's another thing. It's like, look at the sky and all that. What you see isn't necessarily what your camera is going to record. It just isn't. Sometimes it records things prettier than what you remember. Sometimes they don't look as pretty. Usually though, it'll look better if you're going for like the sky, the sunset or something like that. Usually it'll look better. Very rarely does it not look better. Too many cars going this way. Too many people. I'm fine with persons. I have a problem with people. There we go. I don't like cars around me. Whether I'm in a truck or on a bike or anything else like that, I don't like having cars around me. I don't like being in a pack. That is something different with the new drivers. Because we used to get stretched out, and you know, if you got too close to somebody, you know, your CB started getting louder, they'd let you know about it. You know, we get spaced out, that way if something happened, you know, especially in the wintertime. And now you've got everybody up each other's ass watching YouTube or whatever, not paying attention to what they're doing, and when they should have their CB on. Because if they had their CB on, they'd be able to hear the warning that they're gonna, they need to stop, everything's at a dead stop 2 miles ahead when it's gonna take them 2 miles to stop that truck. You're out there on Sherman or something like that, and it's a solid sheet of ice. That's a place that gets it a lot. Yeah, you need your CB on. You need to be listening. Your app on your phone is not going to give you enough warning. But everybody's got their head shoved right up their app. That might be the biggest difference. But the thing too is that's just not the new drivers. That's not just the new drivers. The older drivers too, as much as we bitch about it, older drivers are using all this stuff just as much as the younger drivers. I think the only difference is we still got a CB in the truck and we turn it on in bad weather. So, what if Buck's still listening out there? I'm sure he'll agree. Especially in the wintertime. Gotta have them trucks spaced out. And you gotta have your CB on. Did I beat the train? I believe I beat the train. I got another video filmed from yesterday that I haven't released yet. I don't know if I'll release that tonight or tomorrow. It's definitely getting more humid. Check it out, we're on the new road. Now they get the other side done and it'll look like that road that we just got off of. Crawfish. Yeah, everybody out here got mud bugs. There's a reason this side of Houston, well really, it all looks the same. It looks like Louisiana, so does lower Mississippi and Alabama and all the way across for a good reason. So we've got that mix of, Cajun and Tex-Mex and I guess what other people would call soul food, and it's just what Mama cooked, Grits and greens and fried okra and all that. It's a great place for food through here. I'm going to stop at this gas station before I get home. Take a look at the chat again. See if there's any more comments or questions. Right there, more water. That's how I wouldn't want to get too carried away with anything. I don't know where water is standing. And the road's all moved over. The tires on this bike are not the best for rain and water. They're not horrible. I was on this bike a couple of weeks ago and I was like 3 hours straight in the pouring rain. I was miserable. About 2 hours in, my feet are just wet and they're not going to dry off. That's the point. If my feet would have stayed dry, I would have been okay. But my feet were wet. And that just kind of takes it out of you. Yeah, it's definitely getting more humid, so we might have some more rain coming. My breath is starting to fog my visor up again. Yeah, the pin lock insert, because I have a pin lock visor. The insert that I ordered like 3-4 months ago, they said right now the best ETA they have on it is August. And while I love the Scorpion helmets, that's what I'm wearing. What is that? An EXO, something like that, ERO 420. Great helmet. It's awesome. Getting the pin lock insert has been a pain in the ass. Okay. Let's break a few laws on one. I'll park in the fire lane and block their mailbox. Come on. There we go. See what the comments are. Okay. This road your bike? Cool. Are you gonna post any of that footage? The testing, like make a video out of it? Have a tech video? The farm to the road, then the military. Then wrenching on cars. We had similar paths, my friend. Gen X will never be beat. No, we will not. First truck was an 85 cab over freight shaker. I miss cab overs. Beautiful sunset. And that's a pack of our peeps. Okay. Part of your pre-trip's turning your CB on. Yes. You didn't know it had feet. Okay. Let me see. Well, if you want to post it, you can do a tech video. You can do a review and compare them to a GoPro. Be awesome. I'll definitely watch it if you do. But anyways, I will let y'all go. And I am going to go home. And get yelled at by my wife. She's good at the yelling. She's a professional. And I give her plenty to yell about. So it's not exactly unwarranted. I'm not an easy person to be with. Where's my blinkety blink? It's like, I want to go. My eyes aren't what they used to be. It's like I can't read with my glasses on anymore. I just can't do it. I have to take my glasses off, or I have to look over them, or look under them. Lights bother me more at night. Some of these lights they're putting on cars ought to be freaking illegal. You're not supposed to have fog lights on facing traffic, whether you're in front of or behind it, or your bright lights. And they got some of these lights that their low beams are brighter than any brights. And they always have them, it's like a construction zone, and you know the road's going to turn, but you don't know where, because you can't see it. There you go. Check him out. I'm gonna let y'all go. The bike sounds good. And he flashed to pass. But adios, via con Dios, sayonara, all that good shit. And I will catch y'all later. If you've listened to me for this long, you're awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.